it's me, Bad B. I'm back. I was able to finally start traveling again. And after the Gold Coast, we came back home for Christmas and then we flew out again on Boxing Day. So last year, my husband and I had a stopover in Abu Dhabi on the way to Italy, and I loved it, but I'd still never been to Dubai. So this year, we did a little mini vacation in Dubai. Well, it was a stopover, it was 2 days, but it was beautiful. And I have the worst chemo brain, so I'm actually going to go through photos and just look at what we did. Otherwise, I'm going to forget. So when we flew in, we got off of a 1 a.m. flight. I think we touched down at about 1:20 in the morning. And my husband and I were on separate tickets because he was coming from somewhere else and I was going from Melbourne. And we both have the new Australian passports, which entitle you to use e-gate. And he went through completely fine. Mine didn't work for some reason, and then it said go to immigration. So I went to line up in the immigration line. Considering Dubai is a major hub and transit area, it wasn't too busy, but also it was 1 in the morning. I waited in the line and it wasn't too bad. It was constantly moving. You know, he looked at my passport, I did my fingerprints, I looked at the camera, everything was really smooth and really fast. And then I looked down at the passport he's returned to me, and he gave me a free 1-day SIM with a few gigs of data on it. We stayed in 2 different hotels because at the time we were arriving, and the first hotel was just an airport hotel, and we thought it would be like right by the hotel. But it turns out it was like kind of across the road and it was a little bit hard to get to. He's a Marriott Bonvoy partner. So this was a Marriott Bonvoy group hotel. And, you know, for an airport hotel, it was really nice. I had a king bed, bathroom, you know, everything you needed. And staff were friendly. It kind of had a like young people cool vibe with like writing on the wall and funky furniture and stuff like that. And they asked upon check-in, because you are a member of a certain tier, would you like either points or a free buffet breakfast? We didn't really sleep that night. Breakfast was from 6:30. We were down there like at 6:30. We were the first people at breakfast. It was delicious. I really enjoyed it. Obviously, you can't eat pork in the Middle East, which I'm totally fine with. I can live without eating pork. And from American media, I'd seen like turkey bacon and veal bacon, but which is a healthier alternative, and I really wanted to try it. Yeah, I tried it. It's kind of like beef jerky or just meat jerky, which I wasn't a huge fan of, but I'm glad I tried it. Then after that, we decided to set out for the day. Well, actually, after that, we checked out and then we got an Uber. The whole thing was sunroof, and the man was really nice. He wore a suit. I really like that. Anyway, so he drove us to our new hotel, which was in the DIFC, so Dubai International Financial District. No, wait, is that the acronym? I don't know, I'll find it. I'm pretty sure it's that. International Financial Center, I don't know. So we check into our hotel. Technically, check-in wasn't until like 3 p.m. or 4 p.m. But again, because he's a Marriott Bonvoy member, they said, we have a room ready for you now if you wanted to check in. And my husband said, well, if there's a better room available later that we could get upgraded to, then that would be great. And they said, well, this is the highest level of room available. So then we checked in. Well, actually, we left our bags there, but we had our room if we needed. Then we walked around the financial district and got some drinks. It's really nice. It's really built up, and the way they've done the buildings is everything's shaded and there's a lot of like wind flow, so everything stays quite cool. And then yeah, we continued to walk around the financial district, and the concierge woman at the hotel said that there was an underground walkway to get to the Dubai Mall, like Mall of the Emirates, like the big one. And then so we tried that, but it didn't quite link up all the way. It just stopped. And the inside was really beautiful. It was like a nice mall. But then, yeah, it just kind of stopped. So we had to walk outside and cross this underpass and like a giant highway, and it was a little bit difficult. But then we eventually get to the mall because he said, you know, we have only one day here. What do you want to do? I said, I want to go to the mall. And it has an aquarium in it, and it's like by the Burj Khalifa. So we're getting everything all at once. We didn't go in the aquarium, saw the outside. It was pretty good. And the Middle East, if you go before midday, it's really nice and not too busy. But as the day went on, it just got crazy busy. And this was probably the most beautiful mall I'd ever seen. And it's so funny because non-Christian countries like Japan and countries in the Middle East, they do Christmas decorations a million times better than I'd ever seen anywhere else. There were so many Christmas trees and giant displays. There was like a Dior Christmas tree, a Carolina Herrera Christmas tree. It was stunning. The first thing we did after that, walked around, got some tea, and I don't know when it was. It was one of these trips, one of these days. Usually I'll get like a soy latte, but I can only drink so much coffee a day. So I'll either get like a juice or a smoothie or something, but then it's a lot of sugar. So I thought I'll get into teas. And I don't know where, but I had some sort of like citrus ginger tea concoction, and it was delicious. And now I'm addicted to any kind of version of that. So I got one of those at this really nice cafe. You have to take hormone therapy for either 5 or 10 years after breast cancer treatment. And I have to take Zamestine every day at the same time. So I took it at 7 p.m. in Australia, which equated to about 12 p.m. in Dubai. Anyway, they recommend to take it with food. So I was like, we have to find somewhere to eat. I hadn't eaten Asian food in so long. Well, pretty much since I saw my husband, he said, what do you want to eat? I said Asian food, just anything Asian. And we found this little cafe in the mall called Yamanote something. It was delicious, and I had like a poke bowl or some sort of bowl. It was amazing. Then we continued to walk around the mall. So many nice shops, like all the luxury shops. And there's this sculpture waterfall thing inside the mall that my husband said was really famous. We looked at that. We also saw the ice skating rink in the mall. It was beautiful. Then, you know, after all that walking, it was time for another drink stop. And they had a La de Rey. They had one in Japan, in Shinjuku, but I never went. We went to this one, and it was so beautiful. The decorations and the aesthetic, like all the pastel colors, it's very, like, it's so my vibe. I loved it. I got another tea. I had a look in the teapot. It had actual cut up pieces of ginger and like citrus rinds in it. It was delicious. And I got 2 macarons. Maybe I'm just becoming more mature or something, but usually I'll have like the chocolatiest flavor of things. But I thought maybe I'll try something different. So I got lemon and then, what was it, rose? And they were both just so beautiful and delicate and delicious. Then after that, we continued to walk around the mall, but it was this like souk part, and it was really beautiful. Had a like interesting smell. But yeah, it was really beautiful. Then my husband said, do you want to see the Burj Khalifa? And I said, yes. And he said, when? I said, at nighttime. He said, yes, really packed. And I was like, all right, let's just go now. And it's just outside the mall because it's like the Empire State Building, which I went to New York once and we went up the building, but then it's not as good as seeing the building itself. So he said, do you want to go up? And I said, no, I just want to see it. So we went outside. It was so hot. Took some photos. Wasn't too busy. It was boiling. Went back inside the mall. And by this time, I think it was about 4 o'clock, and we just decided to go back to the hotel. Such a beautiful hotel. The Ritz-Carlton, we stayed there in Abu Dhabi too, but it just was stunning. Absolutely beautiful. And they used Diptyque products. Oh, it was so nice. And they had a complimentary fruit platter and turn down service. So came back, took a little bit of a rest, and then we went out for dinner. And then when we got back from dinner, like they'd done a turn down service for us. So it was really nice. Dinner, oh yeah. So my husband's like, what do you want to eat for dinner? And I was like, I don't know, Asian. So we found a sushi place. I think it's a chain. It's delicious. It was in that sort of Galleria underpass thing that was supposed to go to the Dubai Mall, but it didn't. Anyway, what was it called? Sushi something. Anyway, the guy, he kind of reminded me of Fabio Quartararo. It was really nice, and he was so attentive. It was just, we were the only customers because people apparently eat really late in Dubai, but it was like 6 and I was hungry. And he was just kind of like standing there making sure that we needed everything and like watching. I ordered a small dish, but it was massive, and you got to choose 2 sides. So I got edamame and like a coleslaw. I couldn't finish the coleslaw. It was just so filling, but it was delicious. It was exactly what I wanted. And it was interesting. They used rice paper rolls on one of these sushi rolls, and I thought it was quite nice. And we got back, they had the complimentary turn down service, and they left some chocolates. They were like Ritz-Carlton Dubai Pachi chocolates. It was so nice. Then after that, had a nice shower and just went to bed because we were just so pooped. And the next day we were leaving, so we had to get to the airport, but also buffet breakfast. It was the best buffet breakfast I've ever had. So you walk in, they have smoothies and juice, and then they have my favorite section, like all the baked things. So I had like pancakes, crepes, French toast, waffles. I got one of each. And like the crepes were like made to order. And oh, they're so good. And then they had like a donut wall, and I was like, oh, I want to get one, but I'm so full. I got a piece of, what was it, turkey bacon or veal bacon? One of those just to try. And then I got some fruit and my soy latte. It was amazing. It was the best breakfast. I could have stayed there all day. Everyone was really nice. When I was walking back with all my baked things, I accidentally dropped my French toast, and I was like, no. And then one of the waiters or the servers was coming towards me. He's like, don't worry, I'll get you a new one. I was just like, I'm so sorry. That was so nice. Then we had to fly to Doha. Yeah, we were with Qatar Airways. Had a bit of a snack because I had to take my examestane. And the flight, it's not even an hour. You ascend, and then they're like, okay, preparing for descent. Like it was like 40 minutes or 50 minutes or something, not even Melbourne to Sydney. It was a good flight, and I was really surprised. Even though it was such a short flight, they still served us like a trio of dips, like meze, and then a juice. Like I was really impressed, but I had a nap, so I was asleep for most of it. I quickly just ate my dips, and then we arrived in Doha. But so far it's been really good. I'll do a Doha vlog after this. But yeah, stay tuned. I'm so glad I can get back to traveling. I feel like I was sort of stuck, not doing anything, with my life on hold during treatment for so long. And it's just nice to be able to see new things, go new places, and just spend time with my husband. Like, long distance relationships are hard. Yes, we've done it before, but I'm really glad. I'm glad we're together. Stay tuned.